The Kingston University Big Read is a shared reading scheme where an inspirational book is selected and then sent to all new students and staff before the start of the academic year. The idea behind it is to enable a common point of discussion and engender a sense of community that can make settling into university quicker and easier. The KU Big Read was founded in 2015 by Alison Baverstock, and it has been so successful that it has inspired other universities to introduce similar schemes of their own, including Wolverhampton, Edinburgh, and Brighton University. The book chosen for 2018 is Eleanor Oliphant is Completely Fine by Gail Honeyman. It's a story of a lonely and socially inept young woman whose life irrevocably changes after a single act of kindness. On a November evening, Alison held a big balloon debate, a complimentary event for the Big Read, where Kingston University staff reflected on the story. It was also a catalyst for initiating a wider discussion on the social themes explored in the novel. Afterwards, I had the opportunity to speak to Alison and the faculty staff.
So I'm Associate Professor Alison Baverstock, and I co-founded the Publishing Masters here.
What inspired you to set up the Big Read?
I'd seen pre-arrival shared reading working in America and thought it was a really good idea. I was the first person in my family to go to university, and I remember feeling really nervous, excited, all those things, and I just thought receiving a book that was going to everybody was a really good way of making you feel part of a community.
What is the purpose of the Big Read?
The main objective of the Big Read is to give people a sense of community, to make them feel part of us before they get here. And we know that works. The moment they get their book, they talk about feeling connected, feeling less nervous, feeling welcome, feeling excited. So it gives everybody something to talk about. It's giving common ground.
What other benefits have there been for students?
It does correlate. I mean, I can't say it causes it, but it certainly correlates with a significant reduction in our dropout rate. That's been quite significant.
How does the author feel about her book being chosen?
Oh, well, Gail's reaction, the author's reaction, has been extraordinary because she used to work in a university working on schemes to retain students. So she was thrilled to be chosen and very pleased, and was just enormously gracious, came here, spoke very nicely to people, was very enthusiastic. No, it's been great working with her.
What's your reaction to this year's book?
Oh, it's been a huge success. I mean, a lot of people had already read it. I think it worked very well for the university in that people recognised it, and I think we were seen as quite up to date in having this, really hot bestseller as our Big Read. It was interesting that a publisher was willing to work with us with a bestseller because that's new. And when we first started the scheme, we were sort of beating apart publishers saying, we'd like to work with you. And now that it's happening the other way, publishers are coming to us. Because, we buy a lot of books.
How did you relate to Eleanor Oliphant?
The main character, Eleanor Oliphant, is very relatable. She's funny, she's mucked up. And the really nice thing about that is you don't feel judged if you do find it relatable. So she allows you to, as a character, she allows you to explore the bits of you that you don't like so much, that you maybe think you need to hide. And therefore, she's a real pleasure to read.
Will you take anything away from this reading experience?
It will help me be more careful in the way that I sometimes discuss mental health with my students.
Would you say this is a dark book?
It is. It has some very dark themes. There's emotional abuse, childhood abuse, trauma. It's not a light read. However, it's a story of exploration and of emergence from a cocoon. And though we hate to see the caterpillar struggling to get out of that cocoon, it's how they grow their strong wings, as the metaphor goes.
What do you think of the big balloon debate?
It allows lots of different departments to come together on an equal basis and really discuss something they're passionate about. I was overwhelmed by some of the insights that were offered, and I have no interest in defining it based on somebody's job role. These were interesting and engaged commentaries from members of the KU family.
How have your students found the experience of reading this book?
And I must say, some students that I've come across don't want to read the book because they're from a generation that's used to tablets or don't want to read big things. So they're included. I refer them to the Guardian review of books and tell them to read the summary so that they at least know the plot and have something to contribute to discussion. And the majority of students who've done that have gone on to read the book afterwards. So I found that quite useful.
What do you take away from the big balloon debate?
I think in general it is how, regardless of the school that people have come from to contribute to the big debate today, everybody has picked up on the issues in society such as loneliness, such as the need to be supportive of people who may be slightly different, to try to be inclusive, to try to be more tolerant and to bring kindness into interaction with other humans, and that it's important that we look after each other. And that's each other on the course, but also each other in wider society.
Did the book resonate with you?
On a personal level, I did connect with the book, not directly with Eleanor. I think the connection came with how the title of the book, that Eleanor is fine, or the word fine, and what does it resonate actually, because Eleanor was not fine. And we use the word fine in a context that, yes, you ask, how are you today? And we say, yes, I'm fine. And I used to use that word quite a bit. And then I realized through my own experience that it's not a very positive vibe when you say fine. You're really probably not that well for yourself or not in a good place yourself. And that was exactly what Eleanor was going through. So myself, I don't use the word fine anymore. And I think it was used in a sense that actually, just either we use the word fine, but that person was not fine, needed help.
What do you think of the big balloon debate?
It gave me perspective of different people. Today we had different people have read the book and everyone took it from a completely different angle. So whereas I was thinking of the depression, patient confidentiality, the communication skills because I'm a pharmacist, other people were thinking of the mask, the art, the element of art, the element of how to communicate from a receptionist point of view, and meeting people from diverse backgrounds, and how we brought today, I met people that I've never spoken to before, and what brought us together to discuss is a book.